Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day like I am. Now we're going to take a quick look here at NKN, and just before we do, usually like to look at Bitcoin first, but it's kind of just trending right around 62,000 for the most part. We might see that increase. It dipped down to 60,000 and bounced back essentially. So 60 is just reaffirming itself as a very strong support level. That being said, if you're not, say you're new to the channel, for example, you're not familiar with what I do here. I just I quickly take a look at the technical analysis for these coins. I have a trading community as well. Definitely check that out. Link in the description for that. That is effectively a trading group where we actually all learn and grow together. It's been an amazing experience. And I also send out signals for every single trade that I take. So you can just one-click follow with Cornix if you'd like. It's really up to you, but generally speaking, that is an option. So just note one last thing, not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only, which of course is something I really do love doing and teaching other people. So take a look here at the one-day chart. Here's what's going on big picture for NKN. First of all, highest point resistance is about 148. There's a good chance we'll probably get to that point eventually, right? So it's just a simple observation just based on how well it can ramp up in the past and how well it's doing recently. That being said, let's go ahead and take a look at kind of the more traditional indicators and see where we're at here. So we had a golden cross here recently on the one-day chart. That's not super important, but that did definitely affect the price a little bit. It actually came down shortly after, just based on the fact that it had increased by a significant margin over the course of 2 days, about 55%. Taking a look at RSI, we're just peaking up over 70, which is actually perfect. If we can continue this momentum, 70 will effectively become a support level, and we'll see that as a continuation of the bullish momentous trend. That could happen. Just keep that in mind. RSI and MACD both look good. Okay, so that's all we need really to do here on the one-day chart. We'll look at Fibonacci to sum things up here, of course, but I want to dive into the 4-hour and the 1-hour chart so we can kind of extract a couple of other things, because it's important to note that the price is well above the 200-day simple moving average and the 50. Both of them are essentially below the price, and then the 50 did work as a support level here recently. Just yesterday, as a matter of fact, right? So the price came down, retraced, kind of sort of bounced off it. It more so bounced off this support level here at about 44 cents, or 45 is a round number. But 200 and the 50 are both effectively working as support levels. Okay, so that's a great sign. We've also got another support at about 49 cents, and it broke its resistance, which I think was a more recent high, not in the very recent past, but the further past. And what we're looking at is about 54 cents as a support level there. Okay, and I think that's actually the 0.5 on Fibonacci. So for lack of better terms, that would be a strong support level if the price were to retrace. But obviously we can see right now pretty consistent with the price being right around 63.5 cents plus or minus. That is a resistance level right now. It came up, got rejected here moments ago. It may surpass that, of course. It's still a little too early to tell, but that is working currently as a resistance level. Let's take a look at the Ichimoku Cloud and kind of see where we're at. Obviously, we broke above here recently, which is an excellent sign. You can see the price kind of broke above right here, came up, came down, effectively bounced, and it's been heading up ever since. So if you need to have good indications of buy signals, 4-hour chart, MACD convergence. That's priority number 1. Second priority is the 1-hour chart, Ichimoku Cloud. When the price breaks above the lead, you are in good shape to consider taking a long position. If it breaks below, essentially a short position too, because you look back here, you could have shorted right here. Maybe you wouldn't have made a ton, but you probably would have made some, right? And that wouldn't have been a decent, it would have been a decent, 10, 12%. That's definitely a lot. Honestly, I'm super happy with, 2 to 3% gains personally. But again, I use more capital, but it depends on what kind of trader you are, right? I like to take profits while I still can, but if you like to let it ride out, always set more than 2 or set more than 1 profit target. Set 3 at all times. That's what I do in my trading community. Every single trade that I send out, it has essentially at least 3 profit targets, sometimes 4 or 5. But we want to make sure that we hit them all. But we set those targets just below the resistance, right? As we can see right now, price is just below resistance here at about 63 cents. So I would recommend considering taking profits. Obviously, we'll take a look at a couple of other indicators first, but a bit on the overextended side, it could very well continue. It definitely has a tendency of doing that. But this resistance level is holding it down, right? All right, so let's look at the TD sequential, kind of see where we're at. So we're at a 6 right now. Basically what that just means, we had a period of consolidation here. We got a reset from a 1 to a 6. So we could possibly see 3 to 7 hours more, bullish sentiment here moving forward. Is that going to happen? Hard to say specifically, but it very well could, just based on a simple fact that TD Sequential is pretty accurate in the ways of kind of letting us know what is what's left to happen, right? Because it's basically looking at the market exhaustion for that time frame. So in the 1 hour time frame, you can usually have no more than 9 hours of bullish momentum, and then it's supposed to shift to either consolidation or retrace. Right? So we're at a 6 right now, so we could have 3 to 7 hours worth of momentum. It'll probably push hard if it can break this resistance of 63 cents. That'd be my speculation. Let's take one quick peek at the 4-hour chart on TD Sequential, see we're at a 6 here as well. So again, we've got roughly 16 hours of, 12 to 16 hours worth of bullish momentum left. So there's still gas left in the tank here for NKN. I wouldn't sell it short. But what I would do is obviously take some profits. Oftentimes I like to take, 20, 30% profits in my first target, sometimes even 50, depending on the type of trade that I'm taking. So it wouldn't hurt to obviously consider taking profits, but just note that there is still some time left here. And if you look back here, here's kind of an example, right? Just before it retraced, you see where it retraced right here? It came all the way up from a 1 to a 9 and came down to this roughly this 50% point. That happens quite frequently. So just say hypothetically we have a similar situation here. We're at a 6 right now. We could very well see, a 9 upwards of 70, 75 cents, and it could come down and retrace and consolidate right around 55. Again, that's strictly hypothetical at this point, but that's the common trend for most coins. They'll pump up within, I would say, 9 to 10 4-hour candlesticks and then retrace down to the next closest major support level. So why don't we go ahead and, speaking of support levels, let's go ahead and see what kind of potential we have here, of course, and see kind of where we're at. So for potential support here, in other words, why don't we go ahead and mark these as well as secondary? In case the price were to retrace, we're looking at we can round up and say 60 cents as the next major support. And then the 0.618 is basically 56.6 cents. What we'll also do too is we'll mark our resistance levels here too, because 88 cents is a possibility. So it's a probability more so than a possibility within the next couple weeks. And in fact, let's just take a quick peek of that first, because if you look at this here, this time frame where everything's been trading in, right? So this little guy right here, all of this has taken place since the 30th of October. So that's what, 9 trading days, I believe, 8, somewhere in that range. So hypothetically, we could see that same amount of increase in the next 8 to 10 trading days, right? So within the next week or two, it is likely for the price to be upwards of 83 cents. Could even be 88 cents if it continues the same trend. So I think what I'll probably likely do is maybe consider adding a swing hodl trade position for us, for our community, just based on the sheer fact that this is looking very bullish. And big picture, I do think I would say what $1 to $2 is very likely, considering it hit $1.50 earlier in the year, and that was just the very first increase. Say we break that all-time high, we're going to be looking at very, very strong heights. So I would say NKN's definitely got some strong potential, but bear in mind the more immediate potential would be somewhere between 83 and 88 cents as some major highs that we'll see within the next week or two. Now keep in mind it could very well consolidate, and because here's the thing. Why don't we take a look at this here, this pattern that we have from before. We see that it ramped up here and came down to essentially kind of wrap it up here. And that's the time frame of 6. So it took 3 days to increase and 4 days to retrace. So right now we're at about 1 day in. So hypothetically, just say we come up to like 75 cents, it should come down, consolidate somewhere between 56 and 60 cents, right? So ideally, we keep having this kind of pattern every 8 to 10 days, and eventually we get to our goal. Now, knowing NKN, the way that its history, if you kind of look at how well it's done before in the past, you can see it doesn't like to take things slow, right? Not to say it's going to happen again, but there are these very, very large dramatic pushes for NKN. And if you look at the amount of volume we have right now, if we can get the same amount of volume we had previously back in April, then we're going to take it to $2 quite easy. Okay, so there's no big potential here for NKN. It's a really cool concept too. Do your own research, of course, but this is a coin I've been invested in for a very long time. In fact, it's one of the first coins I actually covered when I created the channel back in April. So it's a really cool, awesome concept. Definitely look into it. But if we just went like comfortably, right, and we did a very comfortable increase based on its recent patterns, there's a great chance we'll be at about 88 cents by month end. But I think that year end or early quarter next year, I think $1.50 is a very easy goal. Right? That's just my consideration, my 2 cents. So take it how you will. I hope you found benefit here today, of course. If you do, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Consider joining my Patreon community so I can help you become a better trader. And you can benefit from some trades that I take as well, so you can kind of see what it's like to be in the day in the life of a trader, right? Check that out in your own time. Thank you so much. So regardless, do appreciate each and every one of you. You're all extra special to me, so thank you. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.